Hi, I'm Miss Andy.
And I'm Miss Kyra.
And we are the 4-H agents here in Meigs County. And we just wanted to make a quick video for our parents and guardians who may have received a letter that now have questions. So this is a video to help explain some of the fall judging teams that we're going to have that your middle schooler may have signed up for, and a little bit more information about each contest.
All right, so your child is receiving this letter because they have shown an interest in competing on one of these teams. So we're excited to be continuing our partnership with the CTE program at Meigs Middle School. So that allows us to come in during school time to see your students and practice for these judging teams, which expose your students to possible career opportunities and help them improve their skills, such as communication, critical thinking. And so we're able to offer practices for a few of our judging teams during the CTE time during the school day. So last week we had signups and they expressed interest in one of those teams, like I said, and those are either Consumer Decision Making and Grill Masters or FCS Skillthon. And so, yeah, we're excited that they're interested.
Okay, so we had an interest meeting today, Thursday, August 14th, and explained to the students that we are this year unfortunately restricted to only 8 students per team to attend our in-school practices. So therefore, we're going to have to make sure that each student is committed to the team and can meet the requirements to be on the team and eventually hopefully come to the contest, and we want your support in that process. So in the letter that we sent home, which you must have found if you're watching this video, we've outlined those commitments needed for each student to move forward in the process and to begin attending our in-school practices. So we ask that you please review the letter with your student and sign it after confirming that they are willing to uphold those requirements. These letters are due back to school on Monday, August 18th for students to begin attending in-school practices that will start next week. So we know it's a quick turnaround, so thank you for taking the time to go over this letter with your student.
Yep, so next we just want to make sure that you guys and our students have a clear understanding of what each team is about and what the contest entails. And so for our first contest, we have Consumer Decision Making. And the contest is designed to activate students' critical thinking skills. So they'll be giving a scenario about a product that needs to be purchased by an individual with a specific list of wants, needs, and a budget for that person. And then those students will be given time to evaluate 4 possible products that the consumer can purchase. This year's categories are athletic wear, bedding, invitations, and sunscreen. So on a scorecard that they'll get at the contest, the students will have to rank the 4 options from best buy for the customer to the worst option based on their wants, needs, and budget.
So then they'll combine the team score, and I think they can maybe place as individuals and as a team based on how well they did those rankings. So this would be a great contest for a student who might be interested in career in purchasing or even product development or something like that. So we're excited about all the kiddos who hopefully brought home a letter about this, and hope that answers some of your questions you may have had.
Yep. So just as a continuation for consumer decision making, or we'll probably refer to it as CDM, students that make the final team will be given the chance, with your permission, to attend the contest on Friday, September 12th at Pellissippi State in Blount County. Transportation will be provided, and students will be provided an excused absence for the school day. Should we run into any issues with transportation, we'll make sure to communicate that plenty in advance so other options can be explored. But we'll depart from school around 8 a.m. and return to school likely around 4 p.m. Students that are participating in the contest would need to be picked up from the middle school upon our return. So make sure that somebody can come pick them up after.
All right, so the next contest that you might be reading a letter about right now is the 4-H Grill Masters Challenge. So this is an opportunity for students to participate in a contest where they're going to learn how to grill. So obviously we're going to cover fire safety and food safety and all of that stuff. And there will be an extra form that should have been included for this contest, since we are going to be using fire and handling raw ingredients. we do ask that all team members for this team specifically complete what's called a 600A, and that just gives us a little bit more information about each student and a little bit more level of parent or guardian permission. Our goal is to take three 4-person teams for a total of 12 students to this contest. So each team is responsible for grilling 4 different meats, chicken, beef, pork, and lamb. So therefore each team member will be assigned one of those meats that they are in charge of grilling. So this is a really cool contest because each student on the team has 2 hours start to finish to start their own charcoal grill their meat, and then present it to the judges so that they can get their tasting score. So in this contest, students are given 2 scores, one on their actual grilling ability. The judges will watch them start their grill, make sure that they got the fire started themselves, make sure they used food safety and didn't touch the raw ingredients and then the finished product with the same utensils, things like that. Make sure they have a plan in case there was a fire issue at their grilling station, but they have to do it completely on their own. So this is a really, really cool contest and a great way for students to learn responsibility. Most of our practices will be at school. However, we will ask that each team member can commit to one after school practice. That way we can start and finish the whole process and practice that 2-hour timeline. And we hope to do that during the fair while we will be at the 4-H food booth. So this contest is going to be held on Tuesday, September 16th at the Blount County Extension office. As of right now, our plan is to provide transportation for all of our team members. We may need one parent or guardian to help us take 1 or 2 kiddos with us. This contest, parents and guardians are welcome to come. However, please hear me when I say you cannot help your student during the grilling process. But there are plenty of other parents and guardians that sit under the pavilion and just kind of talk and hang out and are just there to offer their support. This contest is about an hour and a half away, so we'll need to leave school at 8:15 on the 16th, and we hope to be back to school by 4 o'clock. So you will need to make sure that they have a way home from the middle school around 4, and they will also be excused from school on this day.
The next contest we have is called FCS Skillathon. This is a multi-part contest that covers a variety of topics related to family and consumer sciences. Think home ec. 3 identification stations will include sewing and clothing, housing and interiors, and food and cooking. So students move through each of those stations. They'll have about 15 minutes to identify 15 items at each of those stations. And then there will be a 25 question test regarding ID categories to more closely mirror the state contest. And then they'll have a life skill assessment where they'll have a 10-minute preparation period that's not judged. And then they'll give a presentation that's 5 minutes as a team, yeah. And junior high teams will be given a topic that they are assigned to study, so they know exactly what they're going to be giving that presentation on.
And the ID and the test stuff, that's all stuff we'll practice at our in-school practices. So they'll be given a study guide that they can use to practice off of, and that may be a fun thing to try to find some of those items at home so you can hear what they're learning about and hopefully be impressed by what all they're able to do.
Yeah. So that contest, the FCS Skillathon, will be held on Friday, September 26th, and it is actually just next door. It's at the McMinn County Extension office. It'll be at 10 a.m., and we should return to school around 3:30. So again, we plan to provide transportation to that, but should that change, we'll let you know as soon as possible.
And if you wanted to stop by and see your 4-H'er, that office is right next to the Cracker Barrel in Athens, so that may be a fun stop after the contest is over. So we know this was a lot of information at once, but we hoped that just giving a little more context may help you make that decision about whether to return the commitment letter or not. We know that not all information is always communicated clearly from middle schoolers, so we wanted to take the time and just hopefully clear up any misconceptions or answer any questions that you have. If you are looking at that letter, you should have Ms. Kyra and I's information, so please reach out with questions. We thank you for supporting your 4-H'er, and don't forget, this commitment letter is due back Monday, August 18th. So thank you so much, and we hope to see you at the Meigs County Fair the last week of August.
Absolutely. Come see us.